You know how sometimes, in the middle of a storm, the people steering the ship suddenly start arguing about the direction? Well, that's kind of what's happening right now in one of the most intense conflicts in recent history. It's been months of war. The air is heavy. The streets are silent except for the distant sound of drones and explosions. The world's eyes are glued to this tiny strip of land, watching every move, every speech, every headline. Inside closed rooms, behind reinforced doors, the most powerful leaders in the country meet. Cameras aren't allowed, but tensions are sky high. And last Friday, something happened in one of those meetings that no one saw coming. One of the key figures in the government, someone not exactly known for keeping quiet, walked out of that meeting with a completely different tone. The man's face, usually confident, now looked like someone who had just realized the captain of the ship might be steering toward the rocks. This isn't just any official. This is a person who's been one of the loudest voices calling for a harder, faster, more aggressive approach in this war. He's been pushing for a plan that would go beyond airstrikes, beyond temporary campaigns, something permanent, something irreversible. But after hearing the new strategy, his reaction wasn't just disagreement. It was disbelief. See, the latest plan approved by the government is being described as gradual, a phased occupation of the territory. Move certain people from one area to another. Apply pressure step by step. Sounds strategic, right? Well, not to him, because in his eyes, this isn't about winning. It's about dragging things out. It's about making deals he believes will leave the job unfinished. And to him, that's not just bad strategy, it's a dangerous one. In a fiery video posted online, he said it out loud. He no longer trusts the Prime Minister to lead the army to a decisive victory. Let that sink in. We're talking about a finance minister publicly saying he's lost faith in the country's leader in the middle of a war. He even accused the Prime Minister of aiming for a partial prisoner deal instead of total victory. For him, that's unacceptable. He wants no halfway steps, no partial agreements. In his own words, this time we go all the way. But here's where it gets even more tense. Security officials have warned that this new plan could put both hostages and soldiers in greater danger. And it's not just about military risks. The humanitarian crisis is already massive. Over 61,000 lives have been lost since the conflict reignited, and famine is creeping closer every day. Meanwhile, the country's leader is already facing serious international pressure. Arrest warrants from the International Criminal Court, a genocide case at the International Court of Justice, and now political cracks showing inside his own team. So here we are, a war with no clear end, a leader under fire from the outside and the inside, and a finance minister, Bezalel Smotrich, who just made it crystal clear he doesn't think Benjamin Netanyahu can win this war. The question is, if the people in the war room are losing faith, what happens next?